Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. Now you'll see here on the video, in the front image here on the video, you'll see a picture of a Canadian passport. And I am a Canadian, if you've been following this channel for a while, you will know that I talk a lot about the fact that I'm a Canadian, and I am, as far as I'm concerned, I'm a patriot as well. I care greatly about my country. Not about my government, but my country and my people. Now, yesterday, it's almost over now, a couple more hours, I received another 24-hour suspension from Facebook because of a blog article I wrote and posted on my timeline. And the name of the article was Front Lines of Self-Defense. And of course, it calls for massive changes to the way you deal with the world to keep your world private and anonymous. And when it comes to self-defense, that is so important. But evidently they took offense to it because shortly after I made that post, they suspended me. Now, they don't bother to go and delete the post. Nobody ever sees it, that's all. It's much simpler for them just to, because they start a bigger fire when they delete things. It's less of a fire if nobody ever sees it. And considering my account has almost 5,000 people on it and nobody's read it or liked it or whatever, which is unusual, then I know that nobody's seen it. But that's beside the point. Also, I have a friend in the U.S. who finally got her account back on Facebook. Now, she's a very high-profile lady. She's a public speaker. She's a motivational speaker. She used to be on Canadian television years ago. Wonderful lady. And she needs her Facebook account. Well, I need mine too. I'm trying to, I will, hopefully by January 1st, not need it anymore, and I can just delete it. But in the interim, I still need it. So I have to behave. But I'm cautious. I mean, Facebook is no longer active on my phone. I deleted Messenger. And everything on my phone is turned off. My phone is basically a dead phone. And I don't make phone calls. Actually, if I could remove that ability, I would. But I want to talk about your identification. She was asked to submit proof of who she was to Facebook. Okay. She did. She submitted that document there, which of course is blue. It says USA on it, United States of America, and a copy of her driver's license. No. First off, that document right there is from a personal document, the most powerful document that you have. The codes in it, when they are scanned at a customs office, will tell immigration everything about you. It's all there. Okay, that's why they want to use it. Now, this is an old-style passport, and my passport is an old-style passport. The new ones are even more dangerous in that they're smart, as they refer to. They're smart identification. So you know what that means, right? You can figure that one out. But what's the danger of giving Facebook something like that? You don't know the people that work at Facebook. Okay? Facebook is horrible at securing their information. And why is that? Because they just don't give a shit. Okay? They don't care about you. They don't care about your privacy. They don't care about your identity. When the information in something like that gets out into the public, your identity can be stolen from you. You give your identification, you show your identification to no one. I can remember once when I was walking down Lead Avenue in Windsor, I got stopped by a police cruiser. And I'm going to give you a piece of advice as well. You never talk to the cops, eh? The cops will tell you that. You answer their questions directly, and it's yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. You never offer any information without a lawyer present. Because even if you've done nothing wrong, because it's ridiculous. But anyways, this clown stopped me. And he didn't know who he was fucking with that day, sorry. Because I have a very close friend who was still with the Windsor police at that point in time, and this dude got himself into some hot water over it. But I'm walking down the street. I'm carrying my BlackBerry and my tablet. Actually, I'd gone and had a coffee at a local coffee shop because I live downtown. And I hear this, "Hey, you, get over here." And I'm stopping. I'm looking around. And I'm the only person on the street. And I look over it, and the cruiser's there. And he said, "I said, get over here." I'm thinking, who the hell do you think you're talking to? So I went over and I said, "Yes, sir. Is there a problem?" And he says, "Yeah, I've had reports of a 70-some-odd-year-old guy with long gray hair begging down for money down here." Well, my hair ain't gray, and I ain't 70, right? And I looked at him and I said, "Well, if you went around the corner, you'd see him." He went, "Oh," I said, "Is there a problem, officer? Would you like to see my identification?" He went, No, not at all." I said, I run a business in this city, and I'm a very well-respected citizen. I would like to see your badge, however. I'd like to have your badge number, if you don't mind." And he was not very happy about it. Then he got all apologetic because he was 100% out of line. And under Canadian law, I volunteered my identification. He had no right to ask for it, which he didn't. He's smart enough to know that because I've done nothing wrong. I'm not required in Canada to carry or present identification unless I'm operating a motor vehicle. Right? But you see, we're very, very quick nowadays online, especially to give people copies of that. No one ever gets a copy of your ID. You do not need that service. If they ask for it, don't use them. It is absolute suicide to do that. Right? And it's only common sense. That document is so powerful. I have a friend, I haven't spoken to him in years, but that's just the way life is, who lost his passport. He just become a Canadian citizen, and he lost his passport. The hell he had to go through to get a new one and get the old one canceled was just unbelievable. And the same with your driver's license. It gives away too much of your privacy. Your driver's license has lots of information on it that shouldn't be there anyway, but you never give this to anyone. Now, before we close this up, I'm going to be talking about this in detail at a later date, but let's talk about using debit credit cards and things like that online. Get a card specifically for online. Okay? Don't use a card with any kind of real power. Okay? Now, I have a debit card, a Canadian debit card. Obviously, I'm a Canadian. I've got a Canadian bank account. But the card has no power because it's not a credit card. Okay? The only thing the card does is there has to be money in that account before it's of any value to anyone. Therefore, I don't mind using it online because it's tied to nothing. And you can buy cards that can be filled. There are some great cards out today in North America where you could put, I think it's up to $10,000 on the cards to use for a purchase. Do that. Don't use anything that ties to you. Now, that doesn't really tie to you. They're not anonymous because you have to register them, but they aren't tied to the banking system via your information like your personal credit card would be. Just be really proactive about this stuff. The numbers of things that can and will go wrong if you are not careful are endless. And again, never, ever give any form of identification, I don't care to who it is, online. Right? Don't care who they say they are. It's quite often a phishing scam. Her giving this information up to Facebook scares the hell out of me because Facebook cannot be trusted with your personal information. Whether they're doing it on purpose or they're just incompetence, they cannot be trusted with this with your identification. Being able to send you an email to confirm who you are is good enough. Have a great day, guys. Catch you next time. Be safe out there, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Share the channel with other people, click the notification bell, and consider supporting us even a little bit on Patreon. We have a lot of things we want to do with this channel, and it requires cash flow to do it. I want to pick up some obviously better equipment for videos for you guys, but there are also, in order to do some of the demonstrations and show you guys how to do things, there's stuff that we need in order to do that. And your contribution means so much, and this revolution of taking back our privacy. I don't honestly think that there's anything more important than our privacy than perhaps our freedom of speech. But you have to realize that freedom of speech and privacy are irrevocably tied together. They're like brother and sister. Because when you lose your privacy, you also lose your ability to speak, because you cannot speak anonymously if you need to. Have a great day, guys. Catch you next time. Ciao.